I shouldn't snoop until all the customers are gone. Luckily, it's almost closing time. In the meantime, I can make smoothies and listen for more gossip.
I heard the camera operator talking to one of the grips earlier. He's gone through 3 lenses since we started shooting on stage A. He'll put a new lens on. Everything's fine 1 minute. Next minute, cracked. For absolutely no reason. You know Hector, the gazillion-year-old set builder?
What about him?
He says the reason they bulldozed over the first Pharaoh set was because right after Lois Manson died, it got infested with bugs.
Bugs?
Yeah, like beetles and cockroaches and stuff. They were all over the place, in all the walls, the lights, props, everywhere. So they buried the whole kit and caboodle.
Corey Applebaum, the writer on this thing, swears it was the guy who wrote the first Pharaoh movie who offed Lois Manson. The way she changed her lines all the time drove the guy nuts.
I don't know what came over me. I saw that cat and all I wanted to do was chase it.
That Molly McKenna's a piece of work, isn't she?
Hey, she's a lot better than that Stanislaw was. How someone as neurotic as him got to be line producer is beyond me.
He used to be fine, but 2 days into...
Seen Ida lately?
Nope. She's rendezvousing with someone down at the docks.
The docks?
You know, when you go the back way through the Main Street attraction.
Oh yeah, where the Nile Princess is tied up. Who's Ida rendezvousing with?
Look around. Who else don't you see in here?
George Jackson?
Bingo!
So that's where Ida went. I didn't know there were any docks around here. I wonder how you get to that back entrance. I'll have to figure that out as soon as I'm done snooping in here. This could come in handy. Maybe I'll just borrow it for a little while. Hey! That cat just shredded this music.
Recorded by Z.B. Collingwood on December 13th, 1936, the day the scales fell from my eyes. I saw the first rough cut of my masterpiece and was immediately struck by 2 things. Lois Manson is one of the most beautiful women ever created, and she is a perfectly dreadful actress. I believe that with judicious editing, Pharaoh can and will be saved, but oh, how blind I've been. I must think of a way to spare poor Lois the humiliation that surely awaits her, to see that she is remembered for something, anything other than her utter lack of talent.
Hey, now I can try out those musical notes I decoded from the Naja Hadjer Egyptian cobra. That was pretty. Wonder if that song has a name. Here we go. The Nile Princess. Where have I heard that name before? Looks like the Dead at the Wheel attraction uses a car and a fake crash wall, along with a detective statue. I guess there was more to that statue than I thought. That fake wall is sturdier than I expected. Looks like I'll have to activate this Dead at the Wheel attraction. Somehow. I think the car is part of this attraction, but it looks like it's broken. Yes! Whoa, that was pretty cool. I wonder how the car gets repaired at the end of the attraction.
Welcome to the docks. During the filming of the first Pharaoh movie, the man-made lake you see before you doubled as the Nile River. 10 tons of sand and 2,000 palm trees were brought in so that in the movie's most spectacular scene, Lois Manson, starring as Nefertiti, Princess of the Nile, could appear to be surveying her domain from her royal barge. When the movie wrapped, the film's eccentric director demanded that the sand and trees be removed and that every set, no matter how elaborate, be bulldozed over. In 1943, a theme park was built on top of the buried sets. Unfortunately, World War II was raging and the public was in no mood for theme parks. Its owners went bankrupt, and in 1947, the park was abandoned. The docks are among the attractions that were left behind. The steamship to your right, now empty, once housed a restaurant and was aptly dubbed the Nile Princess. On a more mysterious note, blueprints showing the exact locations of the original Pharaoh sets were also left behind, albeit on purpose. The film's director supposedly hid them somewhere on the grounds of the park just before his death in 1949. These blueprints, if they truly exist, have never been found.
Whoa! So according to that audio tour, the entire set from the 1937 Pharaoh film was buried. And I'm standing on top of it right now. Hey, there's something down in the water. I wonder if that buoy is marking something. These must be the blueprints they were talking about in the audio tour. Looks like the final filming took place under the house on Main Street. That cellar door looks like a good way to get under the house, but these crows won't let me by. I have to distract them somehow. Something tells me I need to pay close attention to color. Phew, there they go. Now to get into that cellar. There we go. Whoa, what's in here? I should light these candles so I can check out this room. Aha! So this is where all the flash boom ended up. I'll bet someone is using it to look for the lost footage. This looks tricky. I don't think my lockpick kit will work on this one. Someone's outside. I'm going to find out who. Who's there?
Nancy! Oh my gosh, you scared me. Oh my gosh, my heart's not beating. I'm not kidding, I can't feel my pulse. Oh wait, there it is. What are you doing out here?
Arthur sent me to look for you. Because you didn't show up for your meeting at the Casbah.
I'm hiding. I was on my way to that meeting when I suddenly got this premonition that something terrible was about to happen. So I've just been walking around, trying to make the feeling go away.
I think I've discovered who's been spying on you.
Really? Let's hear it.
George Jackson. He's been following you around taking pictures without your knowing.
Ew!
Maybe he's the reason for your premonition.
My what? Oh, my premonition. Yeah, right. He probably is, the weirdo.
Do you think George Jackson is responsible for the accidents?
If he's as twisted as you say, it wouldn't surprise me. Although, my money would have been on Arthur.
Arthur Hitchens? Why?
My agent says he's one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. Not because he's super rich, but because everybody owes him. In fact, if I were you, I'd figure out how to sneak a peek inside that safe in his office. I bet you'd find all sorts of goodies in there.
The third crate here contained that decoder, but what's this Valley of the Kings one? I'd better head over to Stage A to find out. This must be the code to the safe. The safe is locked, naturally. There we go. Maybe I should try out this phone number.
You've reached the office of Lydia Lynn, Tinseltown Tatler celebrity journalist. Leave a juicy message after the beep.
That was interesting. This is the crate from the manifest in Arthur's office. The Ark is buried here. A coated lock. This is the lockpick I need to get into that sarcophagus under the Main Street house. I think it's time for a little powwow.
Well, well, the gang's all here. Where have you been? Believe it or not, I was actually worried about you.
As well you should have been. I was hiding. From Mr. Spy Cam here.
You talking to me?
Who else would I be talking to?
George, I saw your makeshift photo lab, along with the photos of Ida you took behind her back. Or should I say, of her back?
You were snooping in my room?
She's a detective, freak lips.
How did you know she was a detective?
I told her. I was trying to calm her down after someone put that snake in her locker.
Someone put a snake in your locker?
Apparently taking pictures of me wasn't enough.
I did not put that snake in your locker.
Come on, who else would have done it?
Actually, you.
Hey, look, Ida may not be my favorite person, but I would never risk traumatizing her like that. It would jeopardize the picture.
Probably true, but that snake wasn't meant for her. It was meant for me. While I was checking out that video chip, you shoved that snake into Ida's locker. You knew the wardrobe room would be my next stop. You knew it'd be my next stop after I saw the cloak on the video chip because you'd already seen that it was missing from the reference model. You let all the reptiles out of their cages too, just in case I somehow missed the snake.
Ew! Oh my gosh, you're both freaks!
You tried to scare Nancy off the case?
She realized I actually knew what I was doing and was afraid I might somehow keep her from finding that lost footage.
You broke into your own prop room to make it look like someone else took that flash boom, didn't you? And you tried to frame me for the snake stuff with that stupid swizzle stick.
Okay. So maybe the idea of finding that lost footage made me do things that were a little excessive. But I never used any of the flash boom because finding the entrance to the original Pharaoh set is impossible. And I never put anybody's life in danger like you did.
Since when is feeding a cat a threat to anybody's life?
I'm talking about the accidents.
Oops.
You're the reason that black cat's always running around distracting the crew?
I just thought it would hype the Lois Manson curse rumor that I sort of started. But so what? Curses are great publicity. The Tinseltown Tattler lapped it up when I sort of called them and told them about it. But that's nowhere near as bad as what Peeping George here has been doing.
I was taking pictures of that mark on your back.
What mark on my back?
The one that's just like the mark Lois Manson had on her back. The one that meant she was cursed. There really is a curse, people. Seriously, mate, you need to shut this production down before history repeats itself and somebody gets killed.
You moron! That's a scar from a tattoo I had removed when I landed this part.
You actually believe in curses?
You're darn right I do. Hey,
No wonder
look what
we've
happened to
fallen
the
so
people
far
who
behind
opened the tomb of
schedule.
King
I
Tut.
don't believe
A week
this.
later, they
People
dropped
don't
all
believe
right,
this.
that's
enough.
The ancient Egyptians
Enough.
were
Run,
expert.
Just go to your rooms and get a good night's sleep. All of you. Now. We've got a picture to finish.
You know, Mr. Hitchens, something Ida said earlier has been bothering me. All these accidents, yet no one's been hurt. I think I know who's been causing them. I think you do, too.
Ida was right about publicity. The surest way to create a blockbuster is to get the media talking about the picture before it opens.
So you caused the accidents, taking care that no one got hurt, but instead of reporting them, you closed the set, knowing word would leak out anyway, and that all the secrecy would attract lots of media attention.
Correct. But from what I just witnessed, I'm afraid this film is headed for catastrophe no matter how many mishaps I arrange or how much publicity they generate. No, only one thing can save me from financial ruin. That lost footage. Please, Nancy, you must find it.